guys, today we're going to be playing with some eyeshadows from Cosmic Turtle Cosmetics, which I am really excited about because I have some shadows from them already because they sent me some of their shimmers in the past. So they sent me these 9 on this side. These are all shimmers, and before they didn't have any matte, so they finally came out with matte shadows, and these are the ones that I want to focus on today. Obviously I'm not going to be able to use 9 of these in a look, but I wanted to show them to you, and I wanted to kind of bring this brand to the forefront, if you will. I mean, obviously the reason why I haven't really done a video on the brand is because they only had shimmers, and you guys know I'm not one to do all shimmer looks, but today we have mattes and shimmers to work with, so it's the perfect time to just play with one brand here, because I feel like I haven't played with like single shadows from a brand in a very long time. So that's what we're gonna do. And they were also so nice to make me some earrings, and they had little turtles on them, and they're just the cutest thing ever, and I'm just like, I can't believe somebody made me earrings. Like, I love them. Thank you. So we're gonna be testing out these today. I do want to do kind of like a dark and dramatic look because we're going out for dinner tonight. So I'm thinking I definitely want to play with the black, because when do I ever not want to play with the black eyeshadows? So I'm thinking I want to play with the black. I might play with kind of like these mauve browns. I don't know, I haven't really decided. I mean, this green is really speaking to me, the red is speaking to me. All of these are very like Halloween-y colors, and I'm just really excited about it. Excuse me for the text, that was my husband texting me. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. I think we're gonna be able to get a really cool look out of this. I also really like that all of the shimmers are like kind of dark and grungy and stuff. Like, I'm here for this color story. So I'm gonna go ahead and prime my eyes with my Natasha Denona eyeshadow primer. If you haven't already seen the video that I made using this primer, I will have that linked up in the corner if you want to go check that out and wonder why I have switched. And I'll pop some swatches up on the screen for you that I did with these mattes. They're absolutely beautiful. I think that they swatched really nicely. They're very creamy, they're very pigmented, they seem very buildable. So I am really excited about trying these out. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and get straight into this. So I think the first shadow that I want to use is, I think I want to pop the yellow in my inner corner because that's just always so much fun. And I'll have the names of these shadows up on the screen so you can see what they are called, so I don't have to take them out of the palette every time I use them. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this right into my inner corner here. I'm just starting by packing this on. And I think I need to use a different brush because I feel like there was maybe a little bit of leftover glitter glue or something on that brush. That's not ideal. I need to wash my brushes. That's basically what I'm getting at, because I don't have a lot of clean brushes left, and that's very annoying. Don't really feel like I have a yellow like this in my singles collection. I feel like it reminds me a little bit of the yellow that's in the Zulu palette by Juvia's Place. So far it's going on very nice and opaque here. Just gonna take this down a little bit to my lower lash line as well, and just make sure that it's nice and blended out. So next up, I think I want to take, man, I want to use all of these shades so badly, but I know I can't do that. So I think I'm first gonna dip into this shadow right here, and we're gonna go ahead and put that into my crease, or I'm gonna go ahead and put it into my crease. Sometimes I'm just like, it's weird when you're trying to talk to someone and then you want to like include the people that you're talking to, but then saying we when I'm like sitting in a room by myself. I don't know, it's weird. But then when I say I'm going to, I feel like I'm not including you guys. So it's almost like a lose-lose, like it doesn't matter what I say, it's just gonna come off weird no matter what. So I'm just gonna start off by packing this into my crease, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start blending it after. So this is obviously a very pigmented shadow. Like, I'm not picking up a whole lot, but these shadows are quite powdery, which usually means that they are pigmented. So that's always a good thing in my book, because I really enjoy nice and pigmented shadows. So this is blending out really, really nicely here. So I'd say we're off to a very good start, and honestly I didn't know what to expect, because usually when brands don't have mattes, it's because they have a hard time formulating them and making them. So when they finally said that they were going to come out with mattes, I kind of figured that they would be good because they had finally perfected them, if you know what I mean. And I mean, I feel like these are building and blending very nicely so far. Now, I obviously haven't been building a lot on them, but they build very nicely on themselves. So I think what I'm gonna do next, I am tempted to just make this like a super dramatic eye and just go in with the black and really deepen this up. So I'm gonna make sure that I really blow this out here so that I have plenty of room to blend out that black. I think I might even take this down to my lower lash line before I go in with the black as well. Or you know what, maybe I'll do the green on the lower lash line because I do want to have a little bit of green as well. I think that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. So I think I'm going to go into this one right here, and I'm just going to smudge that out underneath my eye. And I will of course have the site linked down below if you want to go check out this brand. I would highly recommend that you do. They're also on Instagram obviously, so I will have their Instagram linked down below in my description box. They seem like such a sweet brand. Like, I've been really enjoying all the interactions that I've had with them on Instagram, and just, I don't know, they just seem very supportive of other people, and I like that, you know. I like small brands that are just starting out because I feel like it's easier to not form a relationship with them, but feel like they're people, you know, and it's nice to feel like there's people behind the brands. And I think that's why I really enjoy small indie brands so much more than, you know, like the bigger brands, because obviously you're never going to be able to really talk to the people behind those brands because you don't even know who they are. And then just because I can, because I want to see if I can blend this out even further, I'm going to go into this other lighter green up here. I'm just going to take that on a bit of a fluffy brush and just kind of try to blend out the dark green that I put down. Not that this isn't blended, but I just want to give a bit of a different gradient here and just add an extra color and just really smoke this out. And I gotta say, for being their first mattes, I'm honestly very impressed. Like, these are going on really, really nicely. And they're also building well, and they're sticking to my eye, which is a lot of the time like the issue with very powdery pigmented shadows, is that sometimes they won't stick to your eye properly, but I feel like these are doing very well. So next I'm gonna go in with black, and I'm going to be very heavy-handed with this. So I'm gonna take this one right here, which is obviously the black. And there is quite a bit of kick up in these shadows, which it's not something that bothers me, but I know it does bother some people, so I do want to mention it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start by just packing this very heavily in my outer corner of my eye here. And that looks to be a very nice pigmented black. And then when I placed it down, I'm just using an angle brush. I mean, you can use whatever, but this is just kind of what I had clean here. I'm gonna start bringing this through my crease. I'm gonna have to go back and forth quite a bit with these shadows to just make them the way that I want them, because I feel like the blend down here is definitely not looking the best, but we're definitely gonna go ahead and fix that. It shouldn't be a problem. I'm gonna switch to a bit of a fluffier small brush here and just really work on blending out that black now. I mean, honestly, this is a brush that I should have used to begin with, because I don't know what I was doing with an angle brush, because it's not like my brush needed to be clean when I was using black, you know? So I'm gonna go in with that first crease shade that I used as well, and just make sure that that is nice and blended into the black, and also bring this color back a bit. Just make sure that this is nice and dark and grungy. Having a little bit of fallout here because I'm just going a little bit too crazy with these shadows. I don't know if you can see that I have a bunch of green right there, but it's fine. Let's see, what do I want to do next? Yeah, I definitely messed up the outer corner there. I'm just gonna go in with a little bit more black. I'm also gonna take this black down to my lower lash line here, and I know it's looking a little bit messy, and I have a little bit of fallout. I might have to go in and fix that after, but for now, we're just gonna see if I can make sure that this is looking okay before I fix any accidents here. Just going back in with those green colors on my lower lash line again. I just want to make sure that everything is looking blended everywhere. And I did have a little bit of an accident up here where I just went in with too much shadow. I'm being so heavy-handed today. I don't know what's wrong with me. I feel like I'm always this heavy-handed, but sometimes I take it a little bit too far. And I'm a little bit too overconfident when working with very pigmented black shadows. And sometimes it gets a little bit out of hand, but usually it ends up coming together, and I'm expecting it to come together again today because it just has to, you know? Just gonna keep blending everything until I'm happy with how it is looking. I mean, I gotta admit, these shadows are building on themselves very nicely, and I'm not having any issues at all like trying to build up intensity with any of these. So far I'm really happy. Like I said, I do have a little bit of fallout there. I should probably try to clean that up. I'm just gonna see if I can use a bit of a Q-tip here to get off some of that pigment. I don't really want to have to go in with concealer and really mess this up. And I think that worked pretty well. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this very, very dark green here. This shimmer has a bit of a black base to it, and I think that's going to be perfect to go ahead and put that on the outer part of my eye here. I'm going to go ahead and spray that because I find that the shimmers in this, or I would say the glitter in this, you'll see when I put it on my eye, but it's almost like the shimmer and the glitter really comes out when you do spray it. Like that just looks so nice and wet looking. Oh, I really like this. That's so beautiful. It's so just like dark and grungy and mysterious, and I'm so here for it. And I'm just kind of tapping this into my crease a bit, just making sure that everything is nice and seamless. I mean, just look at that green. Like, isn't that just beautiful? Oh, I love that. I'm not loving my blend that much though. I definitely don't think that this is my best work, but it's not the shadow's fault. It's just me having a bad day of blending. Like this eye looks fine, but this eye, I feel like I always struggle like right on the outer corner of my left eye. I don't know what it is. Sometimes I just can't blend on that side, and I have nothing to blame it on. So let's see, what do I want to do on the rest of my lid here? I'm thinking I'm just gonna go into the lightest of the green shadows here because it just seems like the most appropriate thing to do. Just look how beautiful these are. And I feel like everything just works so well together. Like I feel like it's almost like they curated their mattes to go with the shimmers, I feel like, because they just make such a beautiful color story and everything just kind of works. I'm also going to take a tiny bit of that green and just take this on my lower lash line as well, but without layering it over that yellow, because I just want to kind of tie the upper part into the lower part here. And because I do want something just in my inner corner, I'm going to take my Juvia's Place highlighter that I bought yesterday, and I want to pop a little bit of that in here. So this one is called, is this a Nubian something? Yeah, this is the Nubian Loose Highlighter in the shade Clio, or maybe the Clio is like not the name of this, I don't know. But I'm gonna pop a little bit of that just right in my inner corner because I don't have anything light that I feel like is going to look good with this look. So I'm just gonna tap a little bit of that, just like, whoa, that's not a little bit at all, holy crap. That's what happens when you give me anything that's loose. I just completely overdo it. I'm gonna wipe off my brush a little bit here and just try to blend this into everything. So I think this is where I want to leave it with the shadows. I like how this is looking. It's a little bit messy just right here. So I'm gonna pop something in my waterline. I'm gonna use Punch by Colourpop. Gonna clean up a little bit right here, do some liner and mascara, choose a lipstick, and then I'll come back and I will tell you my thoughts on the shadows I used today. So here's the look all complete. I really, really like how this turned out. I feel very Halloween-y and very grungy and very just like, I don't know, not spooky, maybe like mysterious is a better word. I don't really know what I feel, but I feel really good in this look. For lips, I used Sagittarius by Jeffree Star, which I felt like was kind of similar to the shadow that I have in my crease, and I just kind of think that it tied it all together. So as for my thoughts on this palette, or this bundle, or these shadows, I guess I should say, I really like the mattes. I felt like all of them performed really well. They seemed very pigmented, very buildable, very blendable, because I did a lot of building and blending today because I just wasn't happy with how things were looking, which was like my fault because my blends just weren't that great. But I felt like the more I put on, the better it looked, and I like that with shadows because sometimes you can't get that result by just building and building and building. But I thought that these built very nicely, and I'm really happy with all of them. You guys know I already like the shimmer, so I'll of course have all of the shadows listed down below in my description box if you want to go check it out, as well as their site. So yeah, man, I just dropped them. Let's see if they survived. I am such a clumsy person. Okay, they all made it alive. So thank you so much to you guys over at Cosmic Turtle. I really do appreciate you sending all of these my way. and I wish you the best of luck with your brand. I feel like you're off to a great start, and I think that you're going to do great things. Thank you so much for the earrings. I absolutely love them, and thank you so much to you guys for watching as always. If you want to see some other single shadow content that I have on my channel, you can click on one of these 2 videos. And if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, and I will see you in my next one.